table, there is no fancy studio because, quite frankly, we do not have time to wait until I have a fancy studio, until I have things consistently covered, until we have all of the ducks in a row, right? That would be the ideal plan. But we don't have time to wait when fascism is already at our doorstep. I am a working father. I'm recording this at 2:50 in the morning after a DoorDash shift, and I still have a load of laundry to move before I can even think about sleep. This is the reality for all of us. There are Nazis in the goddamn streets, and there are still dishes in the sink. We are witnessing the death of the Republic in real time. But at 3 o'clock tomorrow, you still have to pick up your kids from school. You still have to be at work by 7:30. You still have to make sure all the lunches are packed, the kids are dressed, and hope that your neighbor does not get grabbed between now and then. Because there are some people who will not be so lucky that their homes will be raided, their schools, their kindergartens taken. A parent who stops over at a gas station will be asked about their identity, will be telling them that they are a U.S. citizen and they will show their driver's license, but a driver's license is not proof of citizenship. And they know that. They know because you are a U.S. citizen, you do not carry your identification. However, because the Supreme Court has ruled that they are allowed to racially profile you, I am not joking about that when I say that. That some people will not make it and that they have to have whole contingency plans ready to go. They have to have all of their files in one spot. They have to hope that they remember the name of a legal attorney or that they have already the money set aside. Mind you, it is not a criminal offense to be undocumented, and therefore you are not provided an attorney. You have to pay out of pocket for that. The Calvary is not coming. The establishment politicians are playing dead possum. Arizona Republicans are posting on Twitter, fuck around and find out, like fucking children, like as if they're goddamn 13-year-olds, and celebrating shootings in Minnesota. Moderates are wagging their fingers and writing letters and saying, you know what, we'll just train them a little bit better. We'll give them a little bit more money. And you know what? Then they'll go from fat, stupid fucking thugs to well trained fucking thugs with even more money and more tanks. But they'll have a camera so you can watch in 4K as they commit fucking war crimes and stomp on the Constitution because we still did not require them to remove their masks. We still did not require them to actually be held to any form of accountability. And when the mayor of Minneapolis says that he will not do anything about it, that he will not tell his police to step in to protect the people against ICE when they commit crimes because ICE just has bigger guns, you know that the cavalry is not coming. Governor Hobbs is caving to federal pressure, telling Attorney General Chris Mays to retract her defense of our rights. They want you to comply with agents who don't have warrants, but compliance is a suicide pact. And 2025 was the deadliest year in ICE custody in 2 decades. We need to be more like Mays and less like the cowards who fold the moment the federal government threatens their funding. And mind you, I have been pretty strong advocate for Hobbs, but this right here is something you need to be critical about, and you need to tell her, and you need to condone her response, and we need to support Mays because Mays is not the only one. There are 23 other attorney generals who were refusing Pam Bondi. There are 23 others who were willing to hold the line, and you know what? God damn it. Peace is often held by only a handful of people who are willing to defend it constantly. It is very hard work. It is very tiring, but they are the ones who hold the line. Resistance isn't a movie. It's not a grabbing pitchforks and marching down to City Hall once, where we all add our what happens. Resistance isn't a movie. It's not a great big grand action where we all grab our pitchforks and march on to City Hall once, and then we go out to brunch. It's not a No King's Day protest. We win when we add resistance to our daily lives. You have to talk to your neighbors. I've lived in a community for 2 years and I realize I don't even know their names. That's a failing. We can't defend each other if we don't even know each other's names. Mind you, one of them I even wave to on a daily basis. The other one beside me, I mean, I've had some neighborly beef with in the past. I mean, I had dogs out. It was a whole thing. It was just backyard dogs being dogs, a little too loud. But honestly, she just had a baby, and I don't know their name. I didn't get them a gift or anything like that. I broke ass bitch. But point is, I didn't do my part as a neighbor, and now I'm challenging you, and I'm myself, to go out and learn your neighbors' names, to talk about the things that are happening in our community, to know your rights. Carry the red card. Give a red card. Print it out. I'll put the link to the description down below. It's a little PDF. Print it out and give it out to your neighbors. You can go over to Staples if you have to. Yes, a union print shop is the most ideal, but again, you use what you got. If you got a printer at home, cool. If you have Staples and you want to make it nice and red, cool. Go for it. It's like 15 cents, and you might be the difference between someone panicking when there is masked men at their door and someone who actually knows a plan, or at least a concept of a plan, so to speak. If a masked thug with no ID kicks your door and you don't ask for a vague tweet from a politician, you exercise your claim to self defense. You carry that red card, you carry your 2A, you train, you know your neighbors, you blow a whistle, an Aztec death whistle if you want to be metal about it. But you talk to your community and you make plans. You make sure that there is someone who can watch your kids. You make sure all your documents are in order. And for God's sake, do not call the police. The police are just going to tell you to comply because that is what they're showing. If you thought the police were now suddenly going to help you, you have not been paying attention to the Phoenix police statistics. When it comes to them shooting their own civilians, that's a topic for another day. We need to be sustainable. We strike in waves like the UAW. We don't pull everyone out at once. We push, we challenge, and we keep moving numbers from one box to another until we win. And here's the thing, when you strike, yes, it is powerful to show that there is 10,000 people in one area, but you're also only locking down one block. I'm not going to pretend to be a big organizer when I myself have not attended these strikes. Even now, I have conversations with my wife about protests and strikes and about how do we do these things and how do we navigate these situations. I am like you, I am still working these details out within our own community. I know these things are important though, so I will still talk about them. I will still tell you about the news. I'm not pretending for you to have all the answers, but I do want you to have a conversation, thought, a consideration, a looking up at least acknowledging that this is real and something you need to be ready for. Because you do not wait until your child has burned their hand to finally learn how to heal a burn. You do not wait until you're in a car accident to finally try to figure out if you have roadside assistance in your plan or not. You need to know these things ahead of time so you know your options so you can navigate the situation accordingly. We might be in Phoenix, a desert, but it might be 70 degrees out in the morning, but it is snowing right now. The avalanche isn't on top of us yet, but the snow is falling, and there is ice in the streets. If we wait until we are in a concentration camp to organize, we've already lost. You need to get off your ass. Get organized. Talk to your neighbors tomorrow. Pack the lunches, drop off the kids, do your job, but do it with your eyes open. We fight every single day. We fight when we decide to not give in to the corporate minor nitpicks. When we decide to look at the human level of things. When you look and decide to lean with positive intent. If you work in security, mind you, yes, do still be assessing. I'm not telling you to just be ignorance is bliss. I'm saying you need to understand that there is a human on the other side of your interactions. We fight every day, or we get erased. I'm doing this with you. And when I can, I'm going to stream. I'm going to record. I'm going to drop in some clips. My washer is getting really loud. I am sorry in advance. Thank you, listeners, for tuning in to the Publicola of Arizona stream. I am figuring out names, so I'm going to have weird intros and weird closings. But this is where we start. Resistance starts today. It starts with 3 views and 2 subscribers. One of those, that is me on an alternate account. You know? But we're going to build up these plans. We're going to organize. We're going to have the same conversation 1,000 times, and I might come off sloppy when I have these conversations at first. You might see someone like Hassan Piker and go, wow, he can talk to us fluidly. Yeah, he's also been doing this for over 13 years now. That watch is going to get really loud, so I'm going to let you go. Thank you for tuning in. Subscribe for more.